Hey guys, it's Jen Conley with Hometown Lenders, and I am back with Phil Adkins of Adkins Appraisal Service, and we're going to talk about a couple appraisal misconceptions today. I think that people, you go online, right? You're looking for a house, or maybe you just like to look at houses. Maybe your neighbor put their house up and you want to take a look at it, and it will have square footage in there. Maybe it's on Zillow, maybe it's on Realtor.com, and they're looking at that and saying, oh, this house has got 2,400 square feet. But then maybe they go to buy it, and I say and you say it's 1,200 square feet when they get the appraisal. Right. So what's the difference there? Why is that?
The actual square footage of a house from the appraiser standpoint is we have federal guidelines that we have to follow, and the entire floor or the entire level has to be completely above the highest level of the lot that is
of the ground
that is actually touching the foundation. Mm-hmm. And it can have 3 walls that are completely exposed on the outside, but if the fourth one, if there's a little bit of a hill and it goes part way up what is the basement wall, then that's considered below grade, and it's not considered in the square footage.
So you'd have to be able to step out on any of the 4 walls and be at ground level.
Right, as if the block foundation wasn't there, you would need to be able to step out and step onto land.
Just like you do your front door.
Exactly, and so that's kind of the misconception as to why sometimes when somebody gets a copy of their appraisal, they're under the impression that all the square footage on all the levels count towards the square footage, but it doesn't. But as we talked about earlier, the lower level square footage is addressed in another area of the appraisal, and you do get monetary credit for it. It's just divided up, and that's a federal thing that that we have to follow as appraisers.
Yeah, I think another one that we see a lot of people ask us about is, they look on the auditor's site, the county auditor's site, and it's got a value. And lots of times it's less than what it is coming in at, but sometimes it's not. And so why is that different than an appraisal value?
Well, this response is coming from an appraiser. Keep that in mind. No disrespect to anyone. But obviously, appraisers, we go inside the house. And in most cases, we've either been inside or seen pictures or talked to the realtors that were involved in the sale of the comparable sales we use. And we are coming up with a value for the sole purpose of the lender using that to make a decision as to whether they should make a mortgage loan or not. As far as the county, they assess a value ultimately for the purposes of determining yearly taxes on a property, to collect taxes to run the county.
Right.
And obviously, I've told people before, if you ask a dentist if you have cavities, the first thing they're going to do is say, well, you got to open your mouth, I got to see what's in there.
Right.
As appraisers, we go in the house and we see what's in there. And the county, they don't do that, and that's, not their reasoning, for doing that. And so, they assess a value, whereas we determine a value, and that
and
is
you've
the
got
difference.
all of the data to back up what you're saying. They don't have all that data, collect all that, and they're just driving by, or they're doing drone footage or whatever to do that.
Yeah, and I turn on faucets, I open closet doors, I look in attics, and if it's got a full basement and it's got a media room, I see it, and I know that it has value, whereas unless an owner calls the county and says, hey,
I improved my house.
Could you raise my taxes because I put an expensive media room in, then they're obviously not going to know. The value, will reflect that.
And there's a process too in Ohio for if you get an appraisal that's less than that tax value, you can take it to the county and have that reassessed, which if you get that, you absolutely should do that if it comes in less.
Right. That's done twice a year in the spring and the fall. And you can go to your local courthouse and inquire about it. And just a 1 or 2 page form to fill out. And in some cases, that's worth looking into.
I think the market that we're in now, that's probably not happening a lot, but
Right.
10 years ago, 11 years
Certainly.
ago, it was happening. I
Right.
saw people doing that and getting their
Right.
taxes reduced.
Right,
So,
and it probably will at some point in the future.
yeah, it'll happen again. It's all cyclical.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for stopping in today.
Sure.
We appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can give us a call at 740-851-4760. You can apply online at 851-4760.com, or you can stop in the office at 109 West Main Street and see us to get started today.